week, another ride. So it's mid-afternoon. I'm out a lot later than usual. It's not a problem, as long as you get out, eh? Originally, I planned to carry the bike in my car, park up in Disley, if you know the area, and then cycle to Chapel on the Frith, do a right, then up Peaslow, one of the top 100 climbs. From there, you go across all of the, I'm going to call it moorland. I have done this route before. And then you go down Winnett's Pass to Castleton, to Hope, to Edale, up Mannick, and back. But although the distance wasn't far, about 39 miles, 38 miles, the travelling time in my car, and the chances are probably hitting traffic on the way home, I decided to instead to jump on this bike with a semi-route planned in my head. No route planned on the Garmin, but in terms of the Peak District, all the areas I go to, I know the roads so well, so pretty much going to make it up as I go along. I wasn't sure jumping on this bike if the chain was due to be waxed again. Honestly, I can't remember last time I rode it. I'll have to have a look at my list of rides. I do know for the last 3-4 weeks I've been on the road bike, so it's good for this, especially with it being electric, to get used, battery to be discharged and recharged. And what surprises me on this bike is how quickly you build up to 15 miles an hour and how easy it is to maintain 15 miles an hour in eco. And that was even climbing up a slight hill. So if you're just pottering around town or commuting to work, unless you have big hills, for me, you could ride this bike in eco all the time. Especially if you're not aiming for a particular fast speed, if you just tooting along. For me, the motor gives plenty of oomph on the lowest setting, or enough for me anyway. We had heavy rain this morning, another reason why I'm out later. Then the sun was out for a couple of hours. Temperatures really kicked up, but as you can see, massive cloud. It's not forecast for rain, but expect anything. This is the first ride since last winter that I've put heated socks with the little battery pack. I've got them on the lowest setting because it's not particularly cold, but if it goes cold on the way home, I'll go on the app, or you've got a button on the side of the battery, and I put them up to medium. On the lowest setting, the app says 6 hours. What the heck? Seeing everything now. Lad should be in the circus. Right, see you soon. Sun's popped out again, which is a good job. I was just thinking I need to get some base layers because my chest feels cold through 2 layers of clothes. Looks nice, that, doesn't it? Got a bit of splash on my glasses. Spitting a little bit. Hope not. Because that to me looks like the sort of cloud that could dump a load of rain down and 10 minutes later it's sunny, but then I'm left damp and wet and cold. So, a bit of a worst case scenario really. Right, back down to eco and try and keep it at 15 miles an hour. I'm carrying the range extender, so on the way home, if I'm feeling a bit fatigued or cold, tired, or just want to get home quicker, as long as I've got enough battery, I stick it in sport for pretty much the home leg. The other thing is with that, usually on the way home, my muscles are completely warmed up. So normally I'm zooming along above the cut-off, but what is nice, the road starts to go up and I slow below 16, you feel the motor kick in, and it just helps you to maintain the speed. And to be honest, in terms of effort through your legs, if you want to maintain the same speed you are on the flat, going up a slight hill, you're still putting in the same amount of watts and heart rate. It's all a myth that you can't get fit on these bikes. If anything, all they do is enhance. On a normal bike, if you're putting out 300 watts, you might be going 1 speed. On an electric bike, up a gradient, you're just going a little quicker. Effort's still the same. Unless you sit back at a slow speed and just spin your legs. That I don't do. I go full gas up every hill. And on the flats, if you're riding an aero bike with carbon wheels, you're technically putting in less effort than me on an electric. I've been there, I've owned both. And the bike I had before this had £1,000, £1,100 carbon wheels, and you could get that bike up to 20 miles an hour. And once you was at 20 miles an hour, it felt like very little effort to maintain 20 miles an hour along long stretches of road. The bike was so aerodynamic. I'm going to put it in sport here because I want to pull away from these lights quick. Roundabout quick. I didn't need to actually. But people not in the know would turn around and say an electric bike's cheating. For me, a £10,000 aero bike with carbon wheels, to me that feels more like cheating. Me and my brother discussed it at length. We would say over the winter, somebody would get more fitness gains from cycling a heavy aluminium hybrid bike I'm pushing out. Yeah, you won't have a, likely not to have a power meter, but trust me, if you cycle over the winter months on a standard hybrid that weighs 14 kilos plus, when you go back to your road bike, you feel like there's absolutely zero effort. You'd be zipping along at 18 miles an hour thinking, I'm barely doing anything. So, people say cheating, so subjective if you ask me. This bike gives you plenty of assistance up the hills. Yeah, I'm on my way to the Peak District right now. Once I'm going home and I'm out of the hills and I've got a lot of flat roads and I'm pushing it to 18 miles an hour, it's a 16 kilo bike with a 1 kilo range extender. So I'm pushing out serious watts to get to 17, 18 miles an hour on the way home, and I'm pushing along a 17 kilo bike. But I can do it. So if people want to talk about cheating, jump on this bike and try and get them speeds when you're hurrying to get home. So the great big rain cloud that I had over my head in Hamforth has gone over there. I'm heading in that direction. The sun's finally come out. It's 10 to 3 almost in the afternoon. I'm thinking about nipping up Blaze Hill, flying down into Mac, get a hot chocolate, and take it from there. Literally, that's as far as my planning's gone. I'm 10 miles in, hoping to get 40 in today, but we'll see. We're going up at 8%. Shoots up now. I'm in sport. I think I've still got 2 gears to go. Change. I'm feeling strong. I've had a week off, I think. Yeah. I could stick it in turbo. Don't need it. 10%. 11. I would say, going up that hill then, I would say this bike in sport gives roughly about the same assistance going slowly up a steep climb than the X35 motor does in turbo. I know that roughly from feel, average speed and heart rate and cadence. Still got my heated socks on, lowest setting. I wouldn't say my feet are hot, but I wouldn't say they're cold either. I would say they feel how they would feel in spring and summer. Perfect. Where you don't notice them. And the way I look at it, all these people in the winter that want to sit in their homes toasty, why would you want to sit in your home sweating? We spend all summer trying to cool down and all winter trying to warm up. The perfect temperature for me is when you don't think about it. Neutral. I don't want to be warm, I don't want to be cold. I'm going up to Potts Wrigley. And I've still not activated, I say activate. I've still not put it into turbo. I would love right now to go up Brickworks and enjoy some of the views from there, but heading back towards Bollington onto Hurdsfield Road, I think it is. That big A road's still shut after a landslide. I think you can squeeze through on a bike or on foot, so I don't know. It feels so different not to have a preset route, predetermined and preset into the head unit, sort of freestyling it. Going up 8%, don't look, it looks flat. When you go up steep climbs and it eases off, you can think, oh, it's flat again. You look down, it's 7%. And then it dawns on you, oh, is that why I'm going slow? Tricks the eyes, and you hear a lot of cyclists talk about it. So there we go. I could have put it in turbo, but I've got a big 42 tooth climbing gate at the back, so just spin. It was like 11-12% in sport. Yeah, I was going super slow, which I'm not used to. I'm sort of feathering the battery at the moment, because I've not quite made up which route I'm going. It's nice to see other cyclists out. And usually bike snobbery kicks in and they don't let on to you on a flat handlebar bike. I feel like wearing a sign saying I also own a road bike. Right, just as I was cycling downhill, I've made my mind up. I'm going up Blaze Hill. It's steeper and longer than the Brickworks. But that's my choice. How have you not got enough room to go through? People own these big cars and they don't know how to drive them. I could have got a coach through. Way down the left. Put the motor back on. Eco, I had it off then. Hi love. Always give people a smile, make them feel comfortable. Especially in spots where it's a little isolated. Make them feel comfortable and safe. As best you can. Just try and portray that you're a friendly face. What a lovely sound out the free up on this bike. Right, now it shoots up. And I'm getting close to the start of the Blaze Hill climb. So beautiful farms round here. Look at this. I'm 12 miles from my front door and I'm in my Peak District. 12 miles. It's took me 50 minutes. Yeah, I know that's not quick, but 14.5 miles per hour. But my average speed at the beginning of every ride is always slow. And then usually I'm pushing over 16, 17 miles an hour on the way home. Let's stick it up to sport. Starting to go upwards now. This is nothing compared to Blaze Hill, which we're about to start, so I'm going to stop, have a gel, have a flapjack, mini flapjack. Watch this little kicker here. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes over 20% on this corner. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Got to 17. I'm having a little energy gel before tackling that. It is. So's Pim's chair if you go that way as well, isn't it? Yeah? View. I'm halfway up Blaze Hill. You get a little bit of respite on this climb. It's an odd one. It's super steep, tiny bit of downhill, a little bit of flat, and then the last bit super steep again. It's just enough respite to catch your breath and get ready for the next kick. There's White Nancy. So I've kicked it down into sport, gone down the cassette, slowed my cadence to 90, and allowing myself to bring my breathing back under control. So I won't get the best of what the Peak District can give in terms of views today, but my goodness, still amazing. I mean, the plan was to go Castleton. Now, if you think this is good, wow. If you stand on the broken road and look out from Mamtor down onto Castleton, there's not many views in the Peak District better than that. Let's kick it over this hill. Up to now, don't think I've really kicked out too many watts in terms of power. Looking at my bike computer, it says my maximum, which was going up that hill then, was 574 watts. Here we go. For me, this is like part 2 of Blaze Hill. You get the first seriously steep bit, you get the middle bit, which is a bit of a rest, and I won't be surprised if this goes steeper. I think the steepest I've seen up to now is 17%. I need to put it back on another page. Drink alert, 30 minutes. Okay, I'll have a drink at the top of the hill, thanks for reminding me. Right, now it's going steep. Yeah, this is the older Specialized SL 1.1 motor, only kicks out 35 Newton meters of torque, which is less than the X35, but because it's housed at the cranks, it's not affected by slow speeds, the steep hills. You stick it in turbo, you should still get most of the 35 Newton meters. X35, if you point up a 5%, 6% incline and put some power, it feels superbly powerful. As soon as you slow down up a really steep hill, from what I've heard, only ends up giving you maybe 16, 18 Newton meters of torque. and it's with road bike gearing as well, you can end up thinking, is this it? Is this what I paid all the money for? Right, 13%. Definitely went steeper then, I felt it. Last bit, and done. Wow. In higher Hurdsfield, on Hurdsfield Road, this lane is 1,300 feet high, and we're going to drop all the way into Macclesfield, for me. This is going to be fast. Hold on to your hats. Took that corner at 34 miles an hour. Don't tell my mum. I'd be like, Mama, I killed myself. 3 miles to Mac. It's 3 miles, but it will fly by. I'm at the saddle, get some power down. It's so easy to climb out of the saddle on this bike. The handlebars are higher, your hands are wider. I just really struggle standing up on a road bike. I think I've got longer legs than arms. a bit of a fast descent that way.
Fine. It's a nice bike.
Pardon?
Nice bike.
Thank you. Do I? Sorry, what?
Did you go off-road with it?
It's my son's bike, really. I paid for it. I'm a road cyclist, but I've got a sore neck, so I have to leave my Ribble road bike at home because obviously I'm like this. So I still. Just had a bit of a chat there with a cyclist. Got another fast section coming up. Oh my God! Oh my God! Woohoo! I maxed out there 38.4 miles an hour. So probably around 50 kilometres an hour. But that was fun. It felt superbly quick. I'm enjoying pedalling out of the saddle today. The amount of watts I'm putting down, I better watch I don't snap these pedals. Because the plastic body. I know all these roads. I've got another dip coming up. What a shame that pub there. Motor off. I've got 8 bars of the internal, 4 of the external. It's another quick one. It's another yeehaw. I'm in concentration mode right now. My next bike, road bike, needs to have brakes as good as this. I'm sure the rotors are bigger. I'm going to have to line it up against my Ribble. The stopping power is just scarily good, but with good modulation too. I often think could I have had and enjoyed the road bike version of this, the Turbo Creo? And the short answer is, yeah, I could. But for one, I'm not a fan of one bike. Too many jumps between gears. Although if you bought a nice Creo, you might have 11 or 12. This has got 10. The power is good, but not great. And I would say the biggest thing that would put me off, I just imagine say in 2019, 2020 when these bikes first came out, if you had the money to spend 10 grand on the S-Works Creo with its carbon fibre wheels and carbon fibre frame, the thing I would feel let down by the most is the noise of this motor. Going up a steep hill, it sounds like it screams for mercy. It's quite off-putting. Sun's gone behind the clouds. It's almost 4 o'clock. It's dropped to about 11 degrees. My hands are starting to get a little bit cold through my gloves. It's definitely that time of year now. Although, I have gone in the app and I've turned my heated socks up to medium. And it says I've still got 3.5 hours of battery left in them. So I could put that up to the highest as the temperatures are dropping. I can counter that by turning my heated socks up. On a bike it really does help if your feet are warm. I think next could be heated gloves. Or just thicker gloves. Well, that was swift. I'm out of the saddle again, I'm loving this today. Feels like I'm on a cross trainer. Excuse me. Should be fun. I'm pretty certain this is a downhill. All the way to Siddington, near George Road Bank. This might be that quick road that I was trying to remember. I remember around here going on a really fast lane. I remember going on a road bike, tucking in. Really going quick. I knew it was somewhere around here. This could be it, I'm not sure. Could well be. Got so much battery on my bike. I'm around 25 miles in, 2,000 feet of climbing. I won't be surprised if I've got about 90% out of, I think I set off with 130. Believe me, that was quick. I think this might be the road I was thinking of, but today I've got a headwind. Yay, this is quick. Yeehaw. We're getting close. We're getting close to what I call risk takers hour. People are starting to go home after 4 o'clock. They take risks with how close they come to you on the car. Oh, because they probably want to get home for the tea. Oh my god, that was bumpy. I've got my snood on today. Neck warmer, I should say. It's not one of them Yes G ones. Little scroats at the shop, Yes G. When they're all standing outside your local shops while testing for testicular cancer, if you know what I mean. Do it when you get out of the shower, lads. Moisturising the floor with saliva too. You know the score. It's not. Look at the speed of this vehicle, it's going about 60. You've got to be able to read the speed of vehicles, it's not about the distance. Relative speed is also important. We're in Siddington, we're going to go past the old Smithy. Here it is, Siddington Smithy. But that building's got some serious history. Smithy Cottage next to it. Love stuff like that. Just loaded the specialised app for a battery check. I am 27 miles in, 2,100 feet of climbing. The battery's gone from 130% down to 85. So 45% of battery used in 27 miles with some steep climbs. Pretty decent. Pretty good going. Ambient temperatures are lower, so you always find, well, come on, it's 11 degrees, it's not winter, but in the winter months, when you're going out and then you're coming home and it's touching 1 degree, 2 or 0 degrees, more so I'd say on my Specialised bike, you definitely notice a drop off in battery range. But the one I would say I noticed the most is the range extender on the X35 with its metal chassis. That normally tops the main battery up by 70%. In the winter months, the casing for that gets so cold and it probably only tops the main battery up by about 50-55. So what I do in the winter with that battery, if I use it, I switch it off when it gets down to 25%. I don't want that battery running out and then sitting on my bike in 0 degrees temperatures with no charge. I think you're just asking for trouble personally. I mean, I was lucky, I paid 200 quid for that range extender on the X35 second hand, the 550 new, but that's nothing compared to the one on this bike, this range extender. I had to drive for 2 hours on the motorway, but I won it on eBay for 100 quid and it had done 5 charge cycles, the 140 quid new. Absolute bargain. So I paid 300 quid for 2 range extenders, one for each bike. Sometimes you got a box clever. I could have gone out and bought them new. There's a George Road Bank in the distance then. Excuse me. I'm getting cold. I've got a little 3-mile-an-hour tailwind. As long as it's not headwind. So strange, the motor on the Specialized. If you go to 17 miles an hour, the motor turns off. If you dip to 16.8, kicks back in. And no, it's not modded. Yeah, there we go, 16.8. It's not giving you much. You slow down a bit more, and the motor. So when it tails off after 15.5 and doesn't complete the cut out to about 16.6, 16.8, it's the same when you're dropping down. I think Specialized heard there was a 10% leeway and ran with it. I'm not complaining. The X35 motor cuts off on the dot 15.5 miles an hour, and it literally feels like someone dropped an anchor. Heated socks I'm wearing today, I think they're called Viceplus. They're £75 on Amazon. Wait for Black Friday or closer to Christmas and I'm sure they'll go down under 50. I've had to put the camera on because I just had another close pass. The one that I had last week got reported to Cheshire Police. Yet to hear back. Foden Lane. I'm going to look to see where that goes on a map. Because I'm sure I've seen the other side of that. Sun's back out, but it's that low now, at 4:30. We're an hour and a half from sunset, that there's no benefit from being back out now. It was warm this afternoon, earlier, a couple of hours ago. Right, I'm going to take a shortcut. This leads to Alder the Edge. I'm going to take a shortcut because I'm going towards Wilmslow. And this path now would take me, I think it's called Melrose Way, which is just another, just like the A555, the Manchester Airport Link Road. It's another dual carriageway sort of A road, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. That A555 is a nightmare road because where it's 50, people want to do 60. Where it's 60, people want to do 70. It ends up being a motorway every single time you go on it. In this 60 section, I go up to say 65 and cars will zoom past me like I'm standing still. I'm glad, with this being such a long straight, that it's not a windy day, because these are the sort of roads where you can get some horrible headwinds. Right, I'll see when I get to Wilmslow. Just going through Wilmslow. Was going to stop at Greg's and get a snack, but it's shut. Wounded. I just want to go home now. Trying to see the picture around me. Come on, Mr. Andrew Feather. Let's got this hill climb. There's a pothole down here. You can see where this road's been dug up previously down this channel here. So I think, yeah, the pothole's been fixed. It was unbelievably bad. It made my bike bottle jump out of its cage. time. Take it nice and easy. It's hard to get traction on this because it's the most bobbly section of road to go up. I tried going up it quick a couple of times and you feel like you're on Paris-Roubaix. You can lose traction, so I'm staying seated, keeping the weight on the back seat. Back tyre, should I say. There could be some closed passes on this stretch. Got to have eyes at the back of your head. This is the Manchester Airport flight path. So we've got a plane coming in now overhead. Here it is. My little one is absolutely obsessed. I'm going to have to show him this video now. Yeah, it's risk taking now. You have to assume that every driver is going to do the wrong thing. That way you're prepared for anything. excuse me. Come on, Leon, let's pick up the pace. Let's pick up the pace. We're from 16 to 18 just after that little kick. Come on, no junk miles. Back to 18 miles an hour. Come on, Leon. You've got this. Still got about 50-60% of the battery. 39 miles in. Right, road closed. Oh, poo. Never been this way in my life. But it's going to get a lot more cars going through it, considering the other way's closed. Dickhead. Almost home. Just at Hollier Shops. What he's up to.